Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Step by Step. Today we're going to be piloting the Decidueye Vileplume deck that I've been piloting for all the videos so far, and we're going to be facing off with a Volcanion deck. So this ought to be a pretty interesting and difficult matchup. Solo YOLO. That's my opponent's name. Cool. Yeah, in the last video that I recorded, which was against a Lapras Zoroark deck, I mentioned that I had a Lapras matchup recorded that I actually lost, and it was the one where they just collect the whole game and play like the Team Flare Grunt, and then once in a while they'll bring up a Wobbuffet to turn off your abilities, and then you play some VS Seeker or Trainers or whatever to deny all your energies. Then end up playing the VS Seeker again to put like Flare Grunts on the hand, healing everything off with the Rough Seas. It was a really good matchup, but I can't find it. So we'll have to settle for this Volcanion matchup. Sorry about that, guys. Next time I get a really good Lapras match recorded, I'll definitely upload it as soon as possible. So of course we're discarding Sycamore and DCE with the Ultra Ball so we can have a Sycamore and DCE in hand. Because we're going to attach the DCE and then play the Shaman so we can draw as many cards as possible. Anytime I can get 2 Ultra Balls in a turn, it usually ends up being a really good turn. And I say that because it usually leads to 2 oddish. Sorry about that, just had a little Facebook comment. Didn't mean for that to come through on screen, but as I said before, I record all of this on my phone, so that'll happen sometimes. And I didn't take a Shaman. I ended up going ahead and getting the Gloom because I had the Force of Giant Plants. So yeah, that's totally cool. I'll take that. Don't know what that Ultra Ball was doing. So close for Lugia. He almost made it to the bench. But instead, he's going straight to the discard pile. Now we're getting Shaman. I think it was a little risky to not take Shaman earlier and to go for Gloom. I also think it was a little risky to Ultra Ball away the Grass Energy, but maybe not. I've only got 2 left though, so Hollow Hunt's important, and I've only got 2 energies to do it with, so I don't know. But we do have 2 Decidueyes and a Vileplume on turn 1. That's a pretty insane turn 1. I should really hamper the Volcanion player at this point. I really just need to make sure I can access one of my other 2 grass energies on this point out, because I want to make sure I can apply the pressure of 90 per turn and be able to Hollow Hunt for some of the things in my discard pile. If I can't have access to that, I mean, this matchup can be so bad so quick. I mean, even right here, like, he's completely trainer locked, and I'm hit for 100 damage for 1 energy, and it's accelerating to the bench Volcanion. I mean, it can get bad, like I said, really quick. So we're going to play N. We're not going to attach the DCE because we really want the grass energy. And we did not get it this turn. That's okay. So we will attach the grass energy to the bench Decidueye. Now, the active Volcanion has 40 damage on it. 40 plus 90 is 130, so we'll get the knockout on the Volcanion the instant that we do draw the grass energy. So we're going to start putting energies on the benched Volcanion EX. Now at this point I am going to retreat There's no way this early in the game with only an N in my hand, I'm gonna allow one of my Decidueyes to go down to a Volcanion. I mean, steam up here. Let's say we play a supporter, get another Volcanion. Look, yeah. I mean, here's a shaman. So let's say he got another Volcanion and a fire energy here. Then that would be a knockout on my Decidueye. There's no way I'm gonna do that. I'm absolutely okay with losing that energy at this point in the game. So I changed my strategy up a little bit. I was talking about how I'm going to do 90 to the active, 90 plus 40, gets a knockout, blah, 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 blah. But things got a little bit too scary for me. I'm really not trying to lose a Decidueye early, like I said. So, and now from this N, I got a whole nother Decidueye, so that's kind of crazy. It's crazy on an N to pull an entire Decidueye line. But the deck thins itself out. I mean, if you play the first couple of turns, let's say luckily, and get the kind of start that I got, then you can do things like this. I mean, you can get your deck thin enough to where you play an N and pull an entire Decidueye line. And honestly, when you're making moves, when you're making moves earlier in the game, it's important to do little things like level ball for a Pokemon you don't need or whatever, just to be able to thin your deck out before you hit the Vileplume. Making the grr face. Gotta make it back at him. Just gotta mention that. I kind of don't like it. Sort of a little bit bothers me when a Volcanion player makes it at Decidueye, because honestly, I mean, I think if we're playing the best 2 out of 3, more times than not, I think he'll win the best 2 out of 3. It all just depends on how I get set up. So I mean, like, I don't know. I'm gonna take it as a friendly grr face. Interesting here as to who we knock out with, or to where we put the feather arrow damage. I am going to put all of it on the active Volcanion, so I can go ahead and knock it out, and then let him make a decision on what he wants me to attack. So, if he sends up Shaman, he's kind of stuck. If he sends up, I mean, he's stuck with me dropping 20 and taking 2 prizes next turn. If he sends up a Rangaroo, he could be in a point where it's hard for him to retreat. I think this is the right decision. I can't attack or anything at this point. Again, there's no way that I'm gonna just like sit here and allow him to knock something out, or not allow him to knock out a Decidueye. So, again, I'm gonna retreat and send up Vileplume. I'm okay with this because if he does knock me out, I can always just start using my level ball and stuff and go ahead and get a 4th Decidueye in play. And by the way, I mean, you see a lot of games where it's like, oh, I went first. Oh, wow, I got a really great turn. Well, unfortunately, there's a lot of games where either I'll just like draw a Rowlet and a bunch of nonsense and just pass for 2 turns and then lose, or my opponent will draw just nonsense and then pass for 2 turns and then lose. So there's not a whole lot of good stuff out there that a lot of good matches out there that we can record and bring to you that aren't me going first and having insane setups, because no one wants to sit through 15 minutes of boring games, right? You don't want to watch me dead draw for 2 turns and then lose and be like, well, that was our matchup in our video for today. So I'm pretty sure that's not what y'all want to watch. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. But I don't want you to think that I'm always like going first and getting crazy turn ones. It's just a little more entertaining to watch the games that does happen in. So obviously with 120 on the active Volcanion, we can just use Decidueye 3 times to take the knockout, and we'll still have 20 more damage that we can drop after that. So we get 2 prizes, or hugs from Beware, as we call them when we use the Beware sleeves. So I'm checking my discard pile right now to see what my Revitalizer situation is looking like. So I've got 2 Revitalizers in the deck, none in the discard pile. I'm going to go ahead and attach the Floatstone and play the Sycamore. That way I can see if I can get like the Gloom or something to get the Gloom, plus a Revitalizer. So I see, okay, I've got Level Ball and Trainer Mail. I play the Level Ball first to get the Gloom. That way when I play the Trainer Mail, I'm only looking at 8 cards instead of 9. So I increase my odds of getting the Revitalizer. I don't get it, but I get an Ultra Ball, so whatever, I can at least pull that out. Yeah, so I mean, we still can drop 20 damage somewhere, and attach an energy for our turn. And I think we're in a pretty commanding spot at this point in the game. We've got 4 Decidueye. We're about to be able to start attacking with it. The opponent has only an Oranguru with an energy on it, aside from a Shaman on the field. I think we're in a great spot. I think we're going to end up taking this game. Hoopa comes out. Cool. Fancy. Full Art End, Full Art Shaman, Secret Rare Gold, Ultra Ball. Secret Rare Gold, Ultra Fancy, Ultra Ball. Lysanda. Ooh, Shaman for 6. Use the turn of the Trainer Lock, and a lot of crazy stuff potentially can happen. Granted, I don't think he's even played any trainers this turn, aside from the Ultra Ball, but yeah, a lot of crazy stuff can happen. Does he have the energy to steam up? No, he can only steam up once, so, and he doesn't have the energy for it, so I'll just give it for 40. But he does get 2 energy on the bench, so that's cool. So I am thinking at this point, let's go ahead and thin the hand a little bit. Discard those 2 cards, right? Oh, and he scoops. Okay, let's pause the field. You guys can kind of see what the field looks like right now. So let's think about how we would finish off this game. I only need 3 prizes. Hey, my battery's low. That's cool. Good thing I'm almost done with the video. So I only need 3 prizes. He only needs 3 prizes. This turn, I'm about to play an N to put him at 3. That will put me at 3 as well, but I'll have 6 cards in the deck. No, excuse me. I'll have 5 cards in the deck. So the odds of getting the Revitalizer and the stuff to reestablish the Vileplume is pretty high, because there's going to be, after I play the N, there's going to be 8 cards in the deck. I'll draw 3, leaving me with 5. 2 out of the 8 cards, so 50. There's a 1 in 4, 1 in every 4 cards is a Revitalizer, and I'm going to be drawing 3 cards. So if I can get lucky and get the Revitalizer, or both Revitalizer, or Revitalizer and Gloom, then we'll reestablish the Trainer Lock this turn. And then I can drop, I'd probably just drop 80 on Shaman on the bench, and retreat to my, yeah, I would drop 80 on Shaman on the bench and retreat to my own personal Shaman for sure. Then he could attack or do whatever he does. Then I would knock out Shaman, drop 80 on whatever, Oranguru or Shaman. Basically, I'd have 3 turns to win the game. I don't think he would be able to knock out 3 prizes worth of stuff under Trainer Lock. If I don't get the trainer lock this turn, it's pretty interesting. So I think he scooped a little too early. Unless he knows something that I don't know about his deck. Maybe he's out of energies. I think he had used 7 or 8 at this point, which means for a Volcanion deck, he should have 3 or 4 more energies left. So, anyways, it was a good game, and I wish I could have seen the end of it play out, because I think it still could have been a match. I mean, I think he still had a chance to win. If I don't reestablish the trainer lock this turn, and he gets a couple things that he needs, it could be pretty interesting to see how this one turns out. I know I would make it where I would only have 1 prize after next turn, and then I would just need 2 more turns to win the game. But I mean, hey, anything can happen. So, yeah, well, I appreciate you watching. Let me know if you think he should have kept playing it out or if he did the right thing by scooping. Like I said, thank you for watching, and of course, always remember to have fun when you're playing Pokemon.